Okay, got a little bit of experiment here because I forgot I have to put the insignia of the Dothraki right about here. And this is what I did. I printed it on photo paper, flipped it horizontally because I want it to face that way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint very quickly with acrylic on here, and then I'm going to turn this down and press it, leaving an impression behind. But I have to work fast because acrylic dries fast, and I don't have any retarder, which is a liquid that makes it not dry as fast. So I'm just going to get a bunch in one of these containers of mine in this palette. Try and get at a certain consistency because I need it to be thick enough that it stands up a little bit on the piece of photo paper, but not so thick that I can't, paint with it. So, like I said, it's going to be a bit of an experiment, and hopefully I don't totally screw this piece up that I just spent the afternoon working on. There are a couple other ways I could do this. I could do something like carve it out of foam core, or an apple or a potato or something like that, and use that as a rubber stamp kind of thing. I could even go to the expense, if you want, of getting a rubber stamp made of it and just press it on, or I could just paint it on. But I want the randomness, if you want to call it that comes from, or that will come from some of the paint sticking to the paper, this paper, and some not. So we shall see. So first thing I will do is get this paint on here as quickly as I can. When we're listening to Tribe Called Quest right now. I can see that this paint is already drying, so this is going to be kind of iffy. I'm not going to worry about the eye hole or the nostril. I can paint those in later if I want to. Really a little worried about how good this is going to work, considering that some of the paint's already drying. I can only get a certain amount of detail with this thick acrylic. If you can see the paint getting darker in some areas, that means that it's probably drying, which means it's not going to be very good at doing the stamping. I guess I can always touch it up with paint later. So let's see if I ruin this whole thing. And I drew on the back, so I had an idea of where it was. And I press it down. Lift it up. And see, it did not work quite as well as I would like. But I actually have a reference here of it, so I'm going to go ahead and touch it up. I'm going to still try and keep it sort of irregular, but after all, we do want it to be evident that it's a horse. See paint getting all over my hands from trying to work fast and still have something that works. It's also not quite as blue as I would like. Getting paint all over my hands from all this stencil stuff. All right, I think that sort of works. I think what I'm going to do is, well, let's see, I might try something here. Oh well, I was going to try and scrape out some of this paint, but I don't think it's quite going to work. So if I want to have this division here, I'm probably going to have to add it with paint. But I think it looks recognizable, but still random enough. Probably should stop screwing with it, because I kind of like this down here, even though it's sort of random. Alright, I think that's it for this.